Coming into the Derby, Spectacular Bid had strung together 10 consecutive wins, often blowing away the competition with his amazing speed. But despite his decisive victories, the colt wasn't always the lead story.
The other thing that was most interesting about Spectacular Bid was his jockey, young Ron Franklin, who had drug problems and who was a kid that Bud Delp trained and rehabilitated just as much as Bud Delp trained Spectacular Bid.
Ronnie Franklin's rise to the forefront of horse racing had been a mercurial one.
I was in the 11th grade in senior high school, and I decided to go to Swadden for me, so I quit school. And I got a job working in a fast food restaurant at Roy Rogers, and I worked there for a while, and I didn't like that too much, so I needed to find something better for me to do. So I had a friend that lived up the street from me, and he took me out to the racetrack.
So one day I said to my brother, Dick, I said, who is that kid? He said, his name is Ronnie Franklin. I said, well, he looks like he's the right size to be a jockey. And Dick laughed. He says, I think that's what he's got in mind. So he was such a pleasant kid, and work, didn't stop working. And for 3 years, he just worked his butt off.
Grover Buddy Delp hired Franklin, took him into his home like a son, and turned him into a jockey. Franklin excelled and became the champion apprentice jockey of 1978. But in March of 1979, just 7 weeks before the Kentucky Derby, Franklin's run in the Florida Derby in Miami almost ended his brief career on Spectacular Bid.
There's a half a mile to go. It's musical fantasy by 3/4 of a length. Spectacular Bid rushes up on the rail now to challenge for the lead. Lot of gold on the outside, third.
As the field goes into the far turn, Spectacular Bid is boxed in, and Franklin eases him back and swings to the outside.
Now midway on the turn, it's Lot of Gold. In on the rail.
Turning into the home stretch, Spectacular Bid is 4 horses out from the rail. Can even the greatest of thoroughbreds overcome being taken up twice and losing that much ground? Jockey Franklin goes to the whip, and Spectacular Bid demonstrates what makes a super champion. He draws to win by an incredible 4.5 lengths.
Despite the win, Buddy Delp called Franklin an idiot and threatened to take him off the bid because he fell for a trap as the other jockeys boxed him in. Nevertheless, Delp decided to stay with the 19-year-old for the upcoming Kentucky Derby instead of a change to a more seasoned jockey.
He's moving fast, and down the stretch they come. Photo finish! And they're up. From between horses, Shamgo going for the lead on the extreme outside. A lot of gold ranging up. And it's General Assembly now passing the stands for the first time. That's Shamgo along the rail, General Assembly between horses, and a lot of gold on the outside, and Flying Pacer is right there. 4 of them across the track, and there's 1 mile to go. On the inside now, it's General Assembly. Shamgo on the rail, Flying Pacer third, then a lot of gold on the outside fourth. Great Redeemer surprisingly up in 5th position. Then it's King Celebrity, 6th on the outside. Spectacular Bid is 7th. Screen King moves through 8th along the rail. Golden Act is 9th by a head. And Sir Ivor again is 10th on the outside as they race on to the backstretch. And it's Shamgo holding on to the lead by, about half a length. And General Assembly on the outside is 2nd by 3.5. Then it's Lot of Gold, 3rd by 1.25 lengths. And on the inside, Great Redeemer is 4th by 3/4 of a length. Then on the outside, Flying Pacer 5th by a head. King Celebrity moves through with a rush now 6th. Spectacular Bid is 7th and closing ground. That's the Bid right alongside the Pacer as they move to the half-mile pole. Shamgo has the lead. From between horses, that's General Assembly. There goes Flying Pacer. Don Pierce puts Flying Pacer in gear on the outside. After that, it's King Celebrity. Now they're on the far turn, and Spectacular Bid also makes a move. 3/8 of a mile to go. It's General Assembly holding on to the lead. On the inside, between horses, that's Flying Pacer, and on the outside, there goes the Bid. So it's the Bid on the outside. Spectacular Bid gets the lead by a head. General Assembly on the inside, 2nd, and Flying Pacer is 3rd, and down the stretch they come, and it's Spectacular Bid taking the lead by 1.5 lengths. Along the inside, General Assembly is 2nd. Flying Pacer drops back on the outside. coming on, but there's a 16th of a mile to go, and Spectacular Bid is going to win the 105th running of the Kentucky Derby. Spectacular Bid does it, Ron Franklin aboard. General Assembly second under the wire. After that, it was Golden Act and King Celebrity. So about 7th around the clubhouse turn, Ronnie Franklin made a big move with the Bid on the far turn and on to victory. Time on the board, 2 minutes, 2 2/5 seconds.
Spectacular Bid's winning Derby margin of 2 3/4 lengths over General Assembly was greater than those of the last 3 Triple Crown winners, Secretariat, Seattle Slew, and Affirmed. Now, Franklin's poor ride in the Florida Derby seemed a distant memory. The Bid was on his way towards racing immortality. His next challenge would be the Preakness, and for Ronnie Franklin, his next challenge would be a more experienced adversary.
Around 1979. After Spectacular Bid won the Kentucky Derby, the Meyerhoff family, Bud Delp, and Ron Franklin returned home to Maryland and prepared for the Preakness Stakes. The Bid had become as much of a hero in Baltimore as Brooks Robinson or Johnny Unitas, and at 1 to 10 odds, he was ready for a spectacular homecoming.
He's moving fast, and down the stretch they come. Photo finish! The last horse, General Assembly, the one most folks think is going to rush out and take the early lead, is the last one in this field of 5 to move into line. They all carry 126 pounds, and they're off. And on the outside, that's General Assembly with Flying Pacer along the rail and Scream King third. Spectacular Bid on the inside is fourth. Golden Act is fifth. Passing the stands for the first time, a speed duel. It's Flying Pacer on the rail and General Assembly on the outside. They're 4 lengths in front of Scream King, who is third. Then it's Spectacular Bid racing far away from the rail, and Golden Act is fifth as they round the clubhouse turn. It's Flying Pacer on the rail. General Assembly on the outside. Those two stride for stride. A blistering early pace. General Assembly in front now by a head. Flying Pacer on the inside, second by 3.5 lengths. Scream King is third. Then Spectacular Bid fourth, followed by Golden Act. They straighten away down the backstretch. First quarter in 23 2/5 seconds, exactly the same as the track record. Now down the backstretch, and it's General Assembly showing the way 3 parts of a length. Flying Pacer along the inside, a second length and a half. Scream King is right there, third, and on the far outside, Spectacular Bid is fourth and charging up. Then a gap of 4, and it's Golden Act. The quintet moves past the half-mile pole, tightly bunched. There goes Spectacular Bid on the outside. Spectacular Bid takes the lead, and Flying Pacer is in second position. The Bid in front, the Pacer second. General Assembly drops back third. Scream King on the outside is fourth, and Golden Act is fifth as they move to the top of the stretch. Spectacular Bid rolls away. Now in front by 4. Scream King takes up the chase, second on the outside. Flying Pacer drops back, and Golden Act goes through on the rail, and down the stretch they come, and Spectacular Bid opens up a 5-length lead. Golden Act along the inside is now second. Scream King is third, and as they move into the final 16th of the line, it's Spectacular Bid. Ronnie Franklin aboard, and Spectacular Bid is eased up to the wire to win the 104th running of the Preakness Stakes by 5 lengths. It's Golden Act second, followed by Scream King third, then Flying Pacer and General Assembly. The time on the board, 1 minute 54 and 1/5 seconds, only 1/5 of a second off the track record, and better by a 5th than Affirmed Preakness last year.
In his post-race interview with Jim McKay and Howard Cosell, Ron Franklin went out of his way to be critical of the ride by Scream King's jockey Angel Cordero Jr.
What's happening there, Ronnie? Well, he's in good stride right here, and we're going to get right outside of Scream King just to make sure we got it. So he brought his horse way out right now, and I'm surprised at him because that's not really good sportsmanship. He did take his horse way out down the backside. He took him clear out to the outside fence, and to me, that's not really good sportsmanship.
So you felt Cordero was out to make trouble for you?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not, I don't want to start no trouble or nothing. He's a nice guy and everything, and he's just doing his job.
But Franklin truly felt Cordero was doing more than just his job, as Cordero had been one of the jockeys that boxed Franklin in at the Florida Derby just 2 months before. Franklin had lodged a complaint against Cordero after the Miami race, and the bad blood between the two spilled over into the Preakness Stakes.
Well, a Spectacular Bid was a very good horse, and he had a very young rider on him. His rider didn't have the patience or the coolness that Steve Cotton did have before. He didn't make many friends for some reason or other.
Ron Franklin had a dicey career with Spectacular Bid. He was criticized early for his rides. The Derby was one. The Preakness was one. Then he became overconfident.
Spectacular Bid was now ready for the grueling Belmont Stakes, but both he and Ronnie Franklin's confidence would be tested long before post time. Clouds of controversy hung over Ron Franklin at Belmont Park on the day of Spectacular Bid's biggest race. Just 3 days before the Belmont, Franklin's 2-month war of words with Angel Cordero Jr. had escalated into a war of fisticuffs.
We rode on a race before the big race, and we was riding on a 2-year-old race, and my horse broke in and made contact with him. And I said to myself, now we're really into it, because he's probably going to think I did it on purpose. So when we came back after the race, we did get into a fight. And then we went back to the stewards and came back to the room and got into a fight again.
If he's not man enough to do it on the ground, on his own 2 feet and his own 2 hands, well, then I have to call him a chicken, because that's not the way I am. I'm not going to try to hurt nobody up on a 1,200-pound animal. The way I'm going to do it is on the ground with my 2 bare hands.
What happened Wednesday is a thing that happened here every day. It just happened to me and Franklin, and it was blow up in very big proportion.
As the race neared post time, Ron Franklin focused his attention away from Cordero and onto his anxious horse.
And that man in the red coat is the major head of this parade, Jimmy Daly. Can you hear me, Jim Daly?
Yes, I can.
Jim, your major job is to see if there's any problem shaping up, any horses getting difficult to handle. How is the field now?
Spectacular Bid seems to be on his toes, sweating a little bit. This crowd's got him a little excited.
You think the crowd here that close to him has got him a little on edge, and
yes,
he's trotting?
He's doing a little jig on the way to the post here, and the jock's getting tied on, fixing his stirrup. The rest of the field seems to be going perfect. Everyone's settled down pretty good. He looks like the only horse on his toes.
Got there 10 minutes to 6, and I get there, and the groom said my assistant trainer was there too, and my groom, Herman Hall, said this horse can't put his foot down. So I went in real quick and picked up his foot, and there was this pin stuck in the sole of his foot, about ½ inch maybe or better.
He's moving fast, and down the stretch they come. Photo finish! And they're off. King Celebrity on the outside is Gallant Best. Gallant Best takes the lead now by a neck. On the inside again is Spectacular Bid. Then Golden Act. Farther out is Coastal and a Mystic Era. Past the stands for the first time now. It's Gallant Best leading the way by 2. Spectacular Bid is second by a length. On the outside is Coastal in third. Golden Act racing fourth. General Assembly in fifth by 2. Along the inside is King Celebrity, followed by Screen King and Mystic Era around the far turn. Gallant Best has the lead by 4. It's Spectacular Bid in second by a length. Then General Assembly is third by a half length. On the outside, Coastal in fourth by a length and a half. Golden Act in fifth by 4. Then King Celebrity is sixth by 2. Screen King in seventh, and Mystic Era is eighth. The first quarter in 23 and 2. They are really blazing away onto the backstretch now, and Gallant Best has the lead, but by only a neck. Moving up on the outside now is Spectacular Bid, and Spectacular Bid on the outside puts ahead in front. Gallant Best on the rail back into second now by 3. Spectacular Bid draws clear now by a full length. Gallant Best on the rail in second by 4. General Assembly is third by 3. Then Coastal in fourth by a length and a half. Golden Act on the outside in fifth by 4. King Celebrity in fifth. On the outside is Screen King, followed by Mystic Era. Down the backstretch, the half in 47 and 3, 3/4 in 1:11 and 1. They continue to set a torrid pace. It is Spectacular Bid in front by 3. Gallant Best on the outside, but there goes General Assembly on the inside. General Assembly is now second by a half length. Gallant Best dropping back in second by a length and a half. Coastal moving up now in third. Golden Act also gaining ground around the far turn. Spectacular Bid has the lead by 2. General Assembly is second by a length. Gallant Best still in third by a neck. Golden Act on the outside in fourth. Coastal on the rail. There goes Screen King also moving up around the far turn.
It is Spectacular Bid in command by 3. General Assembly is second by a length. Golden Act on the outside, moving up in third. Coastal gains ground on the rail at the top of the stretch. It is Spectacular Bid. He has the lead by 3. Coastal on the inside is moving up toward leader now and down the stretch. Spectacular Bid on the outside. It is Coastal on the inside. Those two now vying for the lead, and Coastal puts ahead in front. Spectacular Bid back into second. Golden Act is third, approaching the 16th pole. It is an upset now. Coastal has the lead by 3. Spectacular Bid on the inside, Coastal on the outside. It is Coastal in front. And under the wire, an upset in this, the Belmont Stakes. Coastal, the supplemented horse, Coastal, owned by William Hagen Perry, trained by David Whiteley, ridden by Ruben Hernandez. The upset winner of the Belmont Stakes. A very tight photo between Spectacular Bid and Golden Axe for place and show positions in the Belmont. The time for the race, 2 minutes, 28 3/5 seconds.
Although Coastal had won his last 3 races at Belmont Park, his upset win over Spectacular Bid took most experts by surprise. In their previous meetings in September, the Bid had beaten Coastal by 17 lengths. Experts agree that the Bid was a superior horse, but differ as to what prevented him from winning the Belmont on this day.
If Spectacular Bid had been perfectly healthy and not had any problems, he might have won the Belmont too. But you never know for sure about that race, because no horse that's running the Belmont has ever run that distance before.
Had the pin not gone in the foot, he would have won no matter how he rode him. Because when he came back, he couldn't wiggle. He was so sore. It started hurting him, and he bruised the other foot by using it more than the other one. So I had a very lame horse.
Franklin's critics don't believe Delp's claim that the Bid stepped on a pin. Rather, they say, the Bid's spectacular run to glory ended because of Ron Franklin.
I don't want to be one to point a finger. The Achilles heel, they felt that if Franklin pushed the button too early, moved too soon, it might compromise him.
When I saw 3/4 and 1:11, a mile and 36, I thought Golden Act actually was going to win the race then. It was a marvelous race, and I'm afraid young Franklin is in for a lot of criticism.
Well, in what way do you think?
I thought he pulled the trigger a little bit too fast.
I don't know if I buy the story about the nail on his foot because he didn't bound him to the 16th pole. I just thought that if he waited a little bit, he might have won it.
The ride that he gave him when they said that, he stepped on something in the Belmont, and he stepped in something. He had Ronnie Franklin on him.
A victory or a defeat, so many things go into it. In the Derby and the Preakness, it was Spectacular Bid and his sheer power and class and speed that won those races, in spite of the rider. In the Belmont, Spectacular Bid lost because of jockey Ron Franklin.
The pressure to win the Triple Crown may have been too great for Franklin. 9 days after the disappointing loss at the Belmont, Ron Franklin was arrested for possessing cocaine.
Things were building up on me. I didn't know who to turn to. I probably should have turned to Bud, and I wished I would have now. And I realize that now, but no, I ran away and I turned to drugs.
Ron Franklin's career with the Bid was over.
Spectacular Bid sprinted to the front early in the Belmont, only to fade in the stretch. Critics said the Bid's team had gotten carried away with its success and wanted to see if Secretariat's 31-length winning margin at the 73 Belmont could be broken. So, your horse won't be remembered with Secretariat, one reporter said to trainer Buddy Delp. Nope, Delp replied, he sure won't be, but I'll remember him pretty good. 1 year later, Spectacular Bid ensured he would in fact be remembered. The colt won all 9 of his starts as a 4-year-old, was named 1980 Horse of the Year, and retired with record earnings of $2.7 million. Thanks for watching Run for the Crown. For everyone at ESPN Classic, I'm Chris Fowler.
Nobody comes near Secretariat in the Triple Crown, but I bring Spectacular Bid right up around Affirmed and Seattle Sleuth in terms of talent.
But there's a 16th of a mile to go, and Spectacular Bid is going to win the 101st running of the Kentucky Derby. It's Spectacular Bid, Ronnie Franklin aboard, and Spectacular Bid is eased on the wire to win the 104th running of the Preakness Stakes. It is Spectacular
Spectacular Bid. He has the lead by 3. Those two now vying for the lead, and Coastal puts ahead in front. Coastal has the lead by 3. It is an upset now. It is Coastal in front. And under the wire, an upset in this, the Belmont Stakes. Coastal.
As I look back, Spectacular Bid becomes even bigger in history. He should have won the Triple Crown, and it's a shame he didn't.